What's up, millionaires? This your boy Millionaire E coming at you with a TV show episode review. Now, the TV show we're going to be talking about is My Hero Academia, episode 17. 18, season 5. Now, before we get started, spoiler alert for anyone who's not seen the episode yet. I don't want to spoil it for you. Now, let's get started. Now, I'm going to tell you the good things, and there wasn't any bad things about the episode, but the only thing was it was more of the sad stuff, and I'll tell you the sad stuff. So, the first thing about this episode is kind of going after the Todoroki dinner. And what happened at the Todoroki dinner is, long story short, Natsu and Endeavor had a fight. And it was kind of like a minor fight, but it left where, Natsu was like, I can't take it anymore. So he left. And while he's leaving, he gets captured by this villain. And I'll tell you his name when we get there, but he gets captured by the villain. So while they're there, Fuyami, Todoroki, Meteora, and Bakugo. Fuyami explains that the reason why she's a little bit more forgiving, even Todoroki is more forgiving. The only reason why Natsu is kind of has a disdain and not as forgiving is because he thinks that Endeavor is the reason why Toyo died. And it's not explained in the episode, neither have we seen it in the episode that how Toyo died, but it's kind of implied that Toyo has died. So they leave and they end up, they say their byes, and Fuyami's like, Meteora, thank you for being Todoroki's friend. And Todoroki's like, you're welcome. And Endeavor's like, well, Meteora's like, you're welcome. So then they get in the car and they're driving. They're driving back home. And what happens is, this villain, he brings up Natsu in front. And Endeavor, he gets out the car and he's like, give me my son back. And this villain, his name is Ending, which is really ironic because he basically wants Endeavor to kill him. He praises Endeavor for his basically, brute fierceness. And the reason why I'll tell you brute fierceness is because I'll tell you at the end what happens. And he's like, Endeavor, if you want your son, I will kill your son unless you kill me. So Endeavor, he tries and tries. He tries to hit him, but he's just like, this villain's like, I got the hostage, bro. He puts it in his face. Now, what I really liked about this episode is because of the fight scene that happened after that. And it ends up where, Todoroki, Meteora, and Bakugo, they jump out and they got their equipment and they're ready to fight. And I was like, the cool thing about it was I had to watch this, I had to bring it back like a little bit, like multiple times, because it was like I had to just kind of comprehend what was happening. So the first thing that was happening is Ending, he's using his quirk, which his quirk allows him to basically take these lines off of roads, like white lines, and he can manipulate them. And he also has a trigger drug. So he used a trigger drug, so his power is like amplified. So he's doing all this, and Todoroki goes after him. Todoroki's like, let my brother go. So he's fighting this guy. Then you got Bakugo, who he's trying to save Natsu, because Natsu, he was thrown onto a train track and the train's coming. And it's like the amount of like speed that happened during the episode, like you saw Bakugo literally jump, grab Natsu, goes off like a rocket. Then you got the villain, he's like, well, you know what? If y'all don't kill me, then I'm going to throw I'm going to kill hostages. And so he starts throwing these cars. And then he throws them in the air. And then you got like Meteor. He jumps up in the air, concentrates, and then finally uses Black Whip. And the Black Whip quirk is a quirk that was shown in kind of the first part of season 5 while they were doing the training arc. But it was where he couldn't control Black Whip. But now it's like he grabbed the cars, brought them down, and it was almost like Doc Ock, grabbing things. It was just like so cool. And the cool thing was they were all in there, like while they were fighting, thinking about everything that Endeavor taught them. So once the fight is over, the funniest thing happens. It's like you got Bakugo. Bakugo screams. He's like, he tells Todoroki, he's like, is the villain right? All right. And Todoroki's like, yeah, he's fine. And then he goes to Deku. He's like, Deku, is the mom okay? And Deku's like, well, if you mean the people who are in the car who are gonna die, they're fine. So then then he starts, basically trying to tease Endeavor while Endeavor is hugging his son, because Endeavor is ran to hug his son because he's so happy that his son is fine. And he's like, Bakugo has like the smuggest look, and he's like, "Oh wow, look, beat a villain before you do. In the winter, will you? Huh, look at that, we done did that." And Endeavor's like, "Yes, that's fine." So then what happens is Endeavor, which this was kind of a sad part for me, but it was like Endeavor was looking at Natsu, and Natsu was like, "I'm not as kind as Todoroki, so I'm never going to forgive you." And Endeavor was like, "No, that's not right, because you have literally supported your sister every single time she wants to have a nice family dinner. You come to support her." He's like, "That shows you have some kindness." And he's like, "I'm not even asking for your forgiveness." It kind of tells him some more stuff. And the thing about it, the cool thing that I saw is that the villain, he wanted to die by Endeavor, but he wanted to die by the old Endeavor, the Endeavor who was brash and harsh. Because you see, this villain is crying. He's like, "No, this is not you. What are you doing?" And it's like, it shows that, Endeavor is starting to kind of change. So it ends up where, basically the episode, they're going back to the UA school. And then we see basically Endeavor and Natsu and Fuyami, and he explains that he's going to get a house for the whole family. And he's like, because he keeps on saying he has these dreams where it's like, what can I do for them? And he sees them like sitting there eating dinner, and he's not there. And for me, I think it was, I don't know if I interpreted it wrong, but I was like, I think he was going to stay there at the house with them. I was like, wow, that's so cool. But the next episode, I was like, oh gosh, this one was, I was like, I only saw the trailer of it, but I was like, dang, this is about to be kind of emotional, because it was like, it had some characters, Azawa and President Mike, which are two really cool characters. But tune in next time, y'all. And remember, like the video, share it with your fam, and if you're subscribed, click that bell icon to be notified for more videos. And in the comments, tell me what you thought about this episode. And I'll see y'all later, millionaires, and have a blessed day. Bye, y'all.